contractor, independent contractor, and freelance, it was secure enough income to actually pay on a mortgage. And it's like, it was a really small unit, so technically I was thinking like, who would actually buy this if I were to sell it later down the line? I was encouraged not to buy it, and I just felt like people were taking over. But in retrospect, if I had a different brain, more of a right-wing brain, maybe I would have tried to apply. I thought I wouldn't be approved because of various reasons. Like I left a steady job for independent contractorship because I wound up with a major contract that paid enough to leave a workplace that was very toxic. It was really bad. And at some point, I was like, so at some point, I knew I had to leave that workplace that first brought me to Philadelphia. They put on quite a show there. Whoops, oh, found some food there. But that's what they would tell me. Those people would say that to me. There are a lot of people around here, like, you know, if you're walking someone else's dogs or whatever and they keep grabbing up all the food, and you're trying to make sure they don't eat food, but you don't see everything all the time, and you're picking up number 2 for one dog while another dog is going for food. So imagine being told that all the time, you know. But there's a full-grown man who's technically, he would be considered stronger than me just by the fact that he's a man, and he couldn't control his dog. So, big dog or not, I've had to handle all kinds of dogs, large or small. Here comes someone with this looks like Jude Conroy a little bit. Oh my God, I've actually been in this house here with what's-her-face and her husband, Phyllis Moss. So, and they have a sign that says, "Don't even think of parking here" on the door. They underline "think" because maybe people can hear your thoughts. So Australian Shepherd, oh, like a blue merle, how sweet. Then a little red poodle here. So on cue for the neighborhood, he's saying down, down, down. So that would happen to me a million times a day. So that would be, this guy is so easily puppetable, I don't know what to say. So those people had to say down, down, down to the dog, or were they saying it on time for me to pass by? Can you imagine 50 million people saying stuff like that to you? Or doing stuff like turning out the light every time you walked by? Say it's even like a motion detector light and they're all on reverse. It's not like one or two like ones that were out of order or malfunctioning. But they would, this happened within the first month of me being made to believe I'd be, oh gosh, you know, is he okay? Yeah. This guy fell. It's always happening on these tracks here. So she'll help him get up, he'll help him get up. That's happened to me before. So Verizon. So anyway, so I would walk along, you know, for technically years and years this would go on, just like that happened just now, but now I have a camera. Those people didn't know that I would have a camera, and somebody might have known that people were going to put on a show assuming I would walk this way today. Now I could have walked west, but because of shadow situations, I decided to come east. Or was it shadow situations? Was I compelled to walk this way for somebody else's reasons? A dog here in Strickland Row. I used to go to school with a guy named Brett Strickland. So I grew up where I grew up. Not a lot of people were extremely high achieving, dare I say that. I feel bad saying that, but a lot of people stayed in Delaware. They didn't leave, you know what I mean? And opportunities didn't really present themselves unless you were in very specific situations. So Anyway, but say for 7 years, you keep hearing people say down, 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 down. Lights go off every time you walk by. Someone's home with an outdoor, motion detector light, and it should go on. On the elevators, say people can somehow accentuate the message of going down, going down. So, which is interesting, because I actually walk down the stairs in my building. It's to avoid a lot of riffraff. I can't, I'm partially claustrophobic, big time PTSD. I don't need anyone playing games or having a certain type of attitude, or I don't need to feel like closed in should the elevator get too crowded, and so forth and so on. So I walk down the stairs. I take them up 90% of the time just because it's a little bit of a hike to go up, and I'm not that in shape. It's even people who are incredibly in shape have a hard time climbing 13 flights. I'm on the 13th floor. It was the same price as the 3rd floor, and someone said take 13, duh. You need a quiet, you need to be off the streets, way up there, and where it's quiet is the same price, take it. So anyway, but say for 7 years, all you hear are things like going down, 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 lights off, lights, don't forget to turn out the 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 lights. And then everyone having a negative message, or on top of those people who are irritating, say people can invisibly make you feel blocked. So blocked. So every time you have just a modicum of hope, like, oh, I know, I'll apply to this place, or I'll reach out to this person, because sometimes connections helps you find jobs, or you don't even know jobs exist and you got to find out they exist and stuff like that. If you go online, you're going to find a lot of people fishing to take advantage of people who they want to harm. So Indeed.com is a total bust. They will fish for your resume, and they'll think, oh, this person can't find a job, So they know what to look for, and then they try to take advantage and abuse you. They will outright abuse. There's a lot of abuses out there. The world is basically abusive. I actually am not I take pride in being kind, nice, gentle, comforting, cozy, and if I had a lot more money, I would make sure that certain people could feel safe and secure. I have gotten the opposite treatment 99% of the time, the exact opposite. So it's like, that's interesting, you don't always get what you give. I've given lots of love and I've gotten lots of abuse in return, and I don't really know why. Right, Heather? So that's a shout out to one of the biggest gang stalkers I met leading up to 2011. She's part of a family that outright sets people up to be made to believe they'd be murdered in their apartment, and then they abuse them from there on out. Those people will abuse someone like me all alone on the streets. And they might be part of the core group that set me up to, I think they are, and I wrote a book that kind of exposes it, except I changed all the names, and I've had to report things like that to the CIA, even Homeland Security. I wrote a letter saying, I don't know what this was, but it's so bad that, Wilmington University, on a bus down here by Jefferson University. So Wilmington College is a small college in Delaware. I don't know about Wilmington University, but there's a little tiny small